What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Court of Capes, where your judges discuss, rate, and rank hero content. Today, we are discussing, as stated before, one of our judges' favorite shows of all time, Transformers Prime. A
Yes.
Our first step into I don't. Obviously, you wouldn't call him Gundam, but into robots, I guess. We haven't really dealt much with. Oh, I guess Iron Man, but that's
Yeah, it's suits of armor.
yeah, it's suits of armor. Is Iron Man
It's not.
considered Gundam?
Ro- I
No.
I don't even know what Gundam means.
Okay. Okay.
I know the anime, but I don't understand the term.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Anyway, that's besides the point. Besides the point. Alright. Well, I'm one of your judges, the renegade Joshua Shelton. Alongside of me, as you guys have heard, we have our very own MCU conspiracy theorist and Transformers lover, Judge Brown.
Let's get some transformations on.
We also have the conqueror, the showman, Curtis Cooper.
Overdrive.
Yes.
And we have as well, last but not least, the young one, the WandaVisionary, Special Inquisitor, Anthony Cooper.
I am Skyquake.
Oh, well, today we will be discussing Season 1, Episodes 6 through 12, our thoughts, feelings, and details on these episodes. So, without further ado, shall we dive in to Episode 6, titled Masters and Students?
Alright, Masters and Students. While Optimus Prime and Bumblebee square off against Skyquake, Starscream encounters challenges to his leadership at every turn. So, first hot point is Skyquake is a big boy.
Real big boy.
Real
He is a big boy. And I had a hard time, kind of gauging how big he was. Was he, the size of Optimus, or was he a little bigger?
That's a good
I
question.
think he's a little bigger. A little bigger.
I
Yeah,
just have,
they're
I just
about
have
the same
this
size.
thought that all the original fighters were all these big, the whole prehistoric Neanderthal slash just older things were bigger. So I as
Well, Skyquake isn't older than Optimus.
no, he's not older than Optimus, but but I guess Starscream knew him. Starscream didn't know much about him. Like Optimus knew him on a name basis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Skyquake was just on Earth in stasis for a really long time.
Yeah.
During the War of Cybertron, right?
Yeah, during a lot of the war, not the whole war, but probably for a couple million years.
Well, that's interesting. I guess
the war
evolution is.
The war is about 7 million years old, so
Oh.
it went on for a while.
Wow. Man, that's a freaking long time.
It's a long war.
All right, Anthony, give us some of your hot points, boy.
Alright, moving on. We got to actually see the copying ability used that all Transformers have from Skyquake in this episode. And at first I thought, oh, he's using laser beams. And then
I thought
he's just going to shoot Fowler out of the sky. Boom, dead, done. But not even-
I honestly thought the same thing, and then I thought to myself, why are all these new characters so much cooler than the ones we are dealing with on an episode basis?
Whoa! Hot takes here.
No, it's that he had laser beams. Like that was so cool. But
They all have laser beams.
They all do that.
what?
They all can do that.
Oh no, they
That's how
all.
they-
You've been
No,
sleeping through all these episodes?
No. What I'm saying is, I thought they were actual laser beams, where he was
like Superman stuff.
Superman stuff. Like he was shooting lasers out of his eyes, like what Anthony thought at the beginning. So then I thought to myself, why are all these new characters so much cooler than the ones we've been dealing with on an episode basis? Well, that changed when I realized that he just scanned it and changed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Josh, do you think Skyquake looks cooler than the Autobots?
In some ways, I just like the
That's
jet look.
ludicrous.
I just like the
That
jet
is
look.
absolutely ludicrous.
What ways is he more attractive to you?
I see none.
I don't know. I don't know.
Is it his chin? He's got a wild chin.
I'm gonna.
He's got an edgy chin.
I mean, we are already like you guys will know when we get to the episode who I think is the coolest looking Autobot or character. So we'll get there. It is not this guy.
It's Bulkhead for sure.
Easy.
All right.
Moving on to the next hot point, we get to see Starscream having some real issues with his ranks and him fighting a Megatron's alive. This was basically the Starscream breakdown episode. Not breakdown as in the character, but him having a breakdown.
I loved every second of it. This was a great Starscream episode.
when like the drone raises his hand or whatever, he's like, what if we don't want to follow you? Because he's just like, if Megatron couldn't do it, I don't think you can.
Yeah, that's what they were trying to say. Like, what makes you think you can do this if Megatron couldn't?
And I'm kind of confused on like the drone's sentience. Are they like equal in like the mind of like a regular Decepticon? Or are they more like a hive mind kind of thing?
Yeah, they're just kind of random dudes. They're their own people. It's
Yeah.
weird.
It made it seem like there's some episodes that make it, and there's an episode we'll probably talk about where it makes it seem like they're all hive minded, but then there's random episodes where there's like walking down a hallway having a conversation.
Yeah,
So
they're kind of like think of them as like stormtroopers. Like they all look the same, but they're different people
I like
underneath.
that. Yeah, stormtroopers.
Yeah.
Or
They're like all just copying the same thing. Everybody's a car. Everyone's the same car.
yeah.
Yeah, they really don't explain why they're all the same, besides just the fact that Megatron needed an army of people and they didn't have the budget to make them all look different.
No.
That's fair.
What'd you guys think of Megatron being alive and not being basically on Cybertron?
Well, okay, so this is my thoughts on that. Like, I just wrote down, I said Megatron being alive so early, like them revealing it, I thought they would have waited a little longer, at least, than the very next episode.
Huh.
I think that's a fair criticism. It kind of sucks a little bit of the tension out from
Yeah.
what happened in episode 5.
That's
so,
fair.
So when a character, dies, as I predicted, JC, he wasn't dead, but
Good job.
yeah, I mean it was kind of
Pat yourself on the back.
it's obvious, it's whatever. No, but it's good for a show to completely take our mind off of that. So talk like the Starscream things and like maybe 2 or 3 episodes where he's struggling with what he's doing or whatever's happening, and obviously he does, because spoiler alert, Megatron is not himself, and Starscream
Yeah.
is a complete what Starscream does. But it just get our mind completely off of it to where people forget, and if this is technically a kid's show, so it wouldn't take that many episodes for it to happen. But then bring it back, like, oh shoot, turns out like Megatron's floating around in space.
Right.
Yeah, just a little longer, I think, would have been a better approach than the very next episode.
That's a fair criticism. Yeah.
I like how the only reason Starscream went up there to not kill him was because Soundwave sent
a
Laserbeak after him.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, is that the name of that little character?
Yeah.
Yo.
Did he say that? Shoot, I don't remember.
I don't think they didn't say it, but that's who it is.
No.
I love that Soundwave is basically just his chaperone everywhere to make sure he doesn't do any sketchy stuff.
Don't do anything stupid.
Yeah.
And then while Starscream's like, can you keep recording this while I leave?
Yeah, Starscream does not command Soundwave at all.
No, Soundwave is his own man.
Yep. He's a servant of Megatron.
So, did anyone else kind of expect? Well, I mean, obviously JC knows what happens, but like, anyone else kind of expect um, Starscream to just jam the Dark Energon right into his chest when he ripped it out of Megatron?
No, I did not.
I
No,
kind of halfway expected that. I was like, oh, this is keeping you alive. I'm gonna get some juice.
I think
No,
he was
'cause-
still afraid of it. Like Megatron was so like when Megatron was completely immersing himself in Dark Energon, Starscream was like, oh no, don't want to be around that. Like, no, this isn't good. No. So
This ain't safe.
yeah, basically, he's like, that ain't it, Chief. I'm not
Don't
there.
touch that stuff. Stop it.
Yeah. Above all else, Starscream, one of his primary character traits is being a coward. So
And a survivor.
Yeah, he
and a
is
survivor.
a survivor.
Yeah.
Oh, that's something else that I did on my dark deep dive into Starscream last episode. So so as I told you guys last episode is that I did a huge dive and started reading a ton of things on Starscream. Well,
Basically an expert.
yeah.
Basically.
So they said that Starscream's so what is the central like the heart of it's the heart
The
of
spark.
Transformers, the spark itself. Okay.
Yeah.
The Starscream spark is basically indestructible. He is immortal.
The immortal spark, yeah.
Yes. So, in all definitions, Starscream is a survivor.
Yeah. That goes all the way back to G1.
Yeah, it's
Is
pretty.
that a thing in Prime's canon specifically?
Well, Starscream never died. Never, I didn't say that.
Oh, that's okay. It's
Well,
not that
dang.
huge of a spoiler.
Chase.
Whoops. Up to this point, Starscream hasn't died, so we don't know.
Curtis asked a pretty tough question for this because it would definitely be revealed.
He just asked if he was mortal or not.
Okay, this is
You just asked if he died or not.
strike all of that from the record. My official answer to that question is, up to this point, we don't have enough information to tell.
Thank you, Jason.
And then
Thank you for
extrapolate
answering
that.
my simple to answer question.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Gosh.
Yeah, I thought that was real. I thought that was pretty cool. See, my exposure from Starscream in Transformers Cybertron, I love him as a character. I don't know.
That was a cool version.
It was a really cool version, and I was like, "Yo, I really like this." Now the Starscream of this of Transformers Prime is more of the just kind of like laugh at him, which is sad because he's he's trying, but he has his own traits. But yeah,
The Starscream of Transformers Cybertron is kind of an aberration.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Does Cybertron turn him into like some like, for lack of a better term, BA character?
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Oh,
would.
that's silly.
He would. Come on.
That's so silly. What a silly show.
Like in Transformers Cybertron, you know how Primus is all of Cybertron,
Yeah.
and he transforms into the big like robot mode of Primus, like the whole planet transforms.
Yeah.
There's an episode where Starscream becomes the size of Cybertron and attacks.
What?
See, Starscream was awesome in Cybertron.
That's hilarious.
He was fantastic.
He was trying to kill the god of the Transformers, who was his home planet.
Yeah. His logic it always lacks. He always is like a few steps behind, which is why he can never lead, the Decepticons. But he was a different character, I guess, in Cybertron than he is.
Oh yeah, but he's still.
My favorite Starscream will always be Armada Starscream.
Armada Starscream is pretty good. He's pretty similar to this one.
Yeah.
And I like his red. I like his red design.
It's a real good design.
Now when he gets all blue, it turns into Thundercracker or whatever.
They literally just ripped off Thundercracker.
Yep.
Wow, that happens in Armada.
Yeah.
I
Well,
like
change colors.
towards like the middle of like or beginning, I don't remember, of season 2, they all changed colors and go by different names. You're like, why would you do this?
Because they had to sell more toys that year.
Pretty much.
That is the
Galvatron.
answer.
That Hasbro stepping in.
Oh yeah.
The Starscreams aren't selling well. He's a Thundercracker now.
Wait, as Thundercracker, was he still a jet?
Oh, he's the
Yeah.
exact same, just different colors. He's technically, in quotations, more powerful.
Yeah.
That's dumb.
The Transformers continuities are always subject to needing to sell toys, first and foremost.
That is sad. However, Young Justice was kind of like that. That's why we didn't get a season 3. So,
Yeah, that's true.
well, we have it now, but that's why it didn't come out for a while.
Yeah. But that wasn't Hasbro's fault.
Nope. You got any more hot points, Anthony?
I mean, I liked how Bumblebee took out Skyquake. That was pretty dope.
Oh, yes. I love Bumblebee's fighting style. He was obviously, he was risky and doing what he was doing, but I don't know if it was accentuated in this one, his boxing style.
Yeah.
Like, dude thinks he's Muhammad Ali, like, just kind of like, like, he puts up them fists like he's straight up boxing. I'm like, heck yeah.
Yeah. That's why they didn't give him a blade, so he could be differentiated in that way.
Yeah, Bumblebee's cool. He's cool.
I'm glad he doesn't have like big fists or something to like he has like fist weapons.
Oh,
I'm glad it's like that, like this instead.
Yeah. It's well proportionate to his body.
Yes.
I like his forearms.
They are nice. They are nice.
Think he got good forearms.
All right, but before we move on to this next episode, Jason,
I have a couple things as well.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Well, then I was going to ask you something, so you can bring up your points, and then I will bring up what discussion we will have before moving on to the next episode.
Okay. So, I mean, we got to talk about Ratchet doing the kids' school projects. Come on.
Oh.
Yeah, that was this
hilarious.
episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ratchet was totally, like, taking over. That volcano he built for Raph, though.
Oh my gosh.
I was dumb, and I was like, wait, how'd they get that in the room? Like, who cares? But still. Like, that thing was...
How did Agent Fowler vouch for these kids after that? Like,
I know.
Like, they just did so much property damage.
Destroying the roof of that, yeah.
How many kids died from that volcano blast?
Bro.
Dude, yeah, that was at like the bottom floor.
Yeah, it shot right through.
Oh, Ratchet. But
Maybe
man,
it was a
Ratchet...
one-story school.
No, it was multi-story.
Dang it!
Yeah, it's unfortunate. But Ratchet's quite the control freak.
Yeah.
I love his voice actor.
Oh.
Yeah,
I forget his name isn't coming to me, but I love his voice so much.
Yeah. Hey, I love Optimus's, like, when everything, like, near the end and stuff, because he was referencing someone straying from the path, and then, Bumblebee comes up to Optimus, and then, Optimus is like, our human allies would have been wise to stray from Ratchet's path.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, yeah.
Savage.
It's true. But another thing that I wanted to bring up is I'm on the fence on how I feel about Skyquake scanning a vehicle before he could transform. That feels wrong to me. Because Optimus said, oh yes, you have to take down Skyquake before he is able to scan a vehicle mode.
Well, he never even said that. He just said Bumblebee. Skyquake hasn't changed. Like,
yeah, Skyquake has yet. The exact quote is Skyquake has yet to acquire vehicle mode.
Yeah.
That doesn't jive with me because Skyquake, all Transformers have vehicle modes pretty much intrinsically. They're just Cybertronian.
That's what. That's what I thought.
Yeah, so he should have been able to transform into a flying aircraft It just wouldn't have looked like Agent Fowler's plane. So that feels like a continuity error, and I'm going to stick with that.
Oh, I
But
agree.
I'm not going
sorry
to.
for your loss.
I know it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. But on a more positive note, Optimus his stay down punch when he just nails Skyquake.
Oh yeah.
Double tap, bro.
Such a good moment.
What the
And
fact that they just execute Skyquake. He's dead.
oh yeah, and that too. Like yeah, Bumblebee just rips out his insides and he just crashes and is a husk.
Yeah, I thought that was super epic, like Bumblebee riding on top. And like he wasn't just I thought he was just like, oh, he's just gonna punch him and he's gonna be falling, like whatever. Like no, Bumblebee is able to stick his hand and penetrate the armor of Skyquake and rip it out his insides.
Crazy. Like that shocked me as a kid when Skyquake didn't get up. I was just like, wait, that's all? He's gone? Blew me away.
Yeah. Alright.
And that's all.
Okay, so JC, you brought
Yes.
up last podcast that
Mhm.
we should discuss the intro themes
Oh man.
of the shows because we
I didn't-
now what?
Okay. I'm gonna
JC,
suggest...
you coming unprepared, man.
I know. I forgot to do this, but I want us to rank the full Transformers Prime theme, not just the 30-second intro, but kind of like we did with Beck's theme. Like there's a full version.
Okay, well we can do that next time then. Okay.
Yeah, let's hold that.
I have
I
it
will...
ranked at just the intro song, so if it doesn't.
Yeah. I mean that's the majority of it, but to have a fair comparison with Beck's theme, you have to listen to both back to back, and they're comparable lengths, I think. This way.
Okay.
I
Now,
assume you prefer this one, JC.
I'm not gonna say, but now it'll be interesting for Josh especially because I know he has Beck's theme at the top. So to have another orchestral arrangement going up against that, that'll be interesting. Now with you guys, it might just, of course, be Iron Man Armored Adventures.
But we only had this. Yeah, I guess I do have Beck's theme at the top, but only because we didn't include Demon Slayer.
Oh, are you ranking that higher?
Well, I mean, we can have this discussion when we get back to it. So we're gonna include Demon Slayer as well. So like all of us are going to bring our rankings of every show that we've watched and the intro. And that intro song can be the complete song itself or just the segment that we've heard.
Yes. And we have to, of course, rank X-Men Evolution because that'll, of course, be high up.
Oh.
It will.
Yeah,
I did give my thoughts.
I think X-Men Evolution has at least the most memorable non-vocal theme for me so far.
That's an opinion.
And I tend to agree with that opinion.
Because, I mean, I literally could not pick Beck's theme out of a lineup now. I don't remember that theme at all.
Just because it's memorable doesn't mean it's, like, good.
I mean, the X-Men Evolution theme is good, though.
It is.
Agreed.
It's alright.
Josh is too young for it, though. He's too young
young.
for it.
Yeah.
He's too young for it.
BS, bro.
Too young.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh my. But we will get there. We will get there.
Yeah,
We will come with all of our themes ranked, I guess, next time.
Absolutely.
And let me tell you, I don't remember my original ranking, so I'm just going to re-rank it.
That's fine. The only thing I remember is that I have Beck's theme at number 1.
And I have Iron Man at number 1.
Yeah.
That's all I remember.
Yeah. That's all that matters.
Alright, so let's move on to Transformers Prime Season 1, Episode 7, titled Scrap Heap. The IMDb synopsis of the episode states, while Optimus and RC are trapped in the Arctic, the base is invaded by deadly scraplets. So yeah, that was basically the entire episode.
Can I ask a question to the Transformer himself, JC?
Of course.
Okay, was this specific batch of episodes, in terms of you picking who would watch what, was this specifically an attack directed at Josh?
What?
Because
No.
you gave him by far the most fillery episode, and you gave me the dark episode.
Yes. There. Okay. Okay. I mean,
If I were
we're
you, Josh,
having a
I would get
discussion,
personally attacked.
if we're okay, Curtis, you bring up a point. All right. You bring up you bring up a point. All right. Yes. I mean, I don't know if Predatory is going to be on the top of our list, but it was a very dark episode, and I loved it. Spoilers, like it was it was good, but there was also another episode, and I don't know if I want to say it now or others that seemed more me oriented, but I feel like Anthony and I both agree on loving those kinds of things, so I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, Curtis brings up a point. This was extremely fillery, but someone had to have it.
I did not mean to attack you, Josh. I thought you would enjoy this
No,
episode.
no, no. I get it. Someone. No, no.
There's stuff I like about this episode when we get to it.
No, yes. When we get there, there is stuff to enjoy.
There were a lot of dark themes in this episode. Everyone almost died. People were getting eaten alive.
That's one of the points. We'll get there.
Should there be a gauge of an episode that Josh gets? Like, did it meet his darkness levels?
I think there needs to be.
I think there needs to be a darkness scale.
A dark Josh scale, like a.
Yeah.
Because
Yes.
Like
I do.
this was like a
very much
light
enjoy-
brown. It wasn't dark enough.
Oh my goodness sakes.
I do very much enjoy dark episodes. So I mean, like dark content. You know, when you when you
You might have.
your jaw. You're
I
like,
appreciate you owning it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You gotta
I mean,
own it.
I do. I mean, I feel like, yeah. I mean that's one of the most appealing things about like Batman animated series or like some stuff like that. Like they take some steps. Or like, whoa, that was really dark. Like this is another Batman thing, but Batman Beyond: Return of the Joker, dark movie.
Yes, it is.
Absolutely love it.
Just like Teen Titans Go to the movies.
Okay.
It's a great movie.
It got dark, bro. It had some
It
dark
got
things.
really dark, actually.
They were just murdering kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. Murder babies.
Oh my god.
Remember Crime Alley?
Oh, yeah.
Man.
Remember when they put the plastic thing into Aquaman's like water? Fantastic.
Gosh.
But yeah.
Not gonna lie, Teen Titans the show, pretty good.
Oh yeah.
Pretty good.
Teen Titans the show. Oh, did you say Teen Titans Go the show?
Teen Titans Go the show. Sorry, I misspoke. I redact my statement on the first one.
Okay, I'm not going to agree with that statement. I'm sorry. You have lost me.
I'll say this: I watched a decent portion of season 1 when it was airing. I enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, me and Curtis have been slowly watching through a couple episodes every now and then. And it's great.
Yeah.
It's the perfect palate cleanser.
Yeah, see, that's more of it. You know, it is definitely a palette.
If you're
cleanser,
going into
like-
Teen Titans Go for the plot, then don't.
yeah,
Just
Don't
get
do
out.
that.
Yeah,
Get out.
yeah, like,
You gotta hate it. And it was specifically like most of the jokes are meant to rag on the people who love the original Teen Titans.
yes.
So that's why I love it.
And spoiler alert, they all deserve it.
They all
It's a great show.
I never said it wasn't, but they definitely deserve whatever they get.
Oh my gosh.
As one of those people, I agree, kind of.
So,
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, I
Yeah.
like the original show too.
There's DC fans and then there's Teen Titans fans, alright? It's a whole different crowd.
Teen Titans fans are kind of like Sonic fans.
100%.
They don't really deserve anything good ever. And I should know because I'm a fan of both.
oh my goodness. Well, why don't we go into my hot points of this filler episode titled Scrappy?
Bring it on.
Hot point number 1. Raph has anger management issues, question mark? Like, The dude was going ham on that scraplet, and he just kept hitting it. And I was like, yo, Raph, you're supposed to be the moral compass of this group. What is going on? Like,
Sometimes you gotta get a little crazy.
You don't mess with Bumblebee around Raph.
Yeah, I get. Yeah, Raph. It was in total vengeance of like them scratching Bumblebee's paint. You know, because basically that's all they did in that first attack. But yeah, he goes bonkers. All right, number 2. I absolutely loved that the humans were just carrying around giant wrenches or crowbars. Like, these kids had, like, no fear, and it was great.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3, I still think there are way too many puns in this show.
What?
Way too many puns.
You got a pun threshold?
And
What's one example?
What? Yo, that is a good question. There was a lot of cold puns with Optimus and RC.
Like what?
I don't
Like
remember.
what,
I you know what? Next episode, I'm gonna rewatch this episode, write down all the puns, and list them to you.
I don't remember a single pun.
It's just something that I wrote down because I was like, there.
Did Optimus go, oh, it sure is chilly. Well, it sure is chilly, RC.
Oh my gosh. I like a good pun, yes. But sometimes puns can be overdone. Like, if you do pun after pun after pun that's on the same subject, it's like, okay, like, come on. Like, you know, change it up a little bit. Anyways. Number 4. The bulkhead screaming segments were probably the best part of this entire episode.
I completely.
It was absolutely entertaining. That's where a piece of humor they put in this episode hit for me. Like, I loved, like, every time, like, he kept screaming about random things, like, and it was great. His voice actor, the screaming that they did, hilarious.
Oh, that was great.
It was
Amazing.
Absolutely hilarious. Yeah, it was probably one of my favorite parts of the entire episode. Number 5. So, Optimus Prime basically sums up, size doesn't matter. Because he says one should not be measured by size alone. And I was like, oh yeah, let's go Optimus. The man of the wise. See, Optimus just spouts the wisdom.
Always.
Always. And my last hot point for you guys was, for a filler episode, this was actually kind of intense and had, like, what could have been some serious consequences. So, yeah, those are my hot points for that there filler episode, Scrap Heap.
I really liked the conversations that Optimus and RC had while in the Arctic.
Yep.
They were good.
That was easily my highlight.
I think my biggest criticism of this episode was that Optimus and RC should have been the A plot, and the whole little bug thing should have been the B plot. Because, like, I literally just wanted to spend the whole episode with them and, like, talking and, like, fighting through the cold. I thought that was way more intriguing.
And they could have, like, reminisced on, like, Cybertronian experiences of, like, being stranded or something.
True.
Oh, yeah, they could have done... There could have been flashbacks?
There could have been flashbacks! There could have been Optimus flashbacks! Man.
You're not wrong.
Like, if when Optimus first met RC, like, that would have been such a cool flashback.
It reminds me when I first recruited you, RC, when you were just a young tricycle.
Yes! Oh. She lost a wheel?
No.
Bro. So, in growth, you lose a wheel.
Oh my goodness.
I don't think they grow up.
No, they don't. So, JC, how are Transformers, like, made? Tell us here.
Didn't we talk about this last time?
We definitely did. They are not birthed, but they basically just come out of the well of all sparks.
Immaculately conceived.
Yeah.
There was no father.
Exactly. No, the all spark just kind of creates a spark
them out.
and it just kind of pops them out of the well.
They start out as goo and then they get metal. Boom, done.
Yeah. There's different ways in different continuities, but there's usually a protoform involved, and the protoform is kind of like the shell of a transformer that is sparkless, and then the spark is inserted in the protoform, and then that creates the transformer.
Oh.
And we will see protoforms later on in the show, so that definitely has a part to play. But yeah, so there's a protoform, there's a spark, and then they come together, and then there's life. So there you go. And the all spark kind of provides the spark part of that.
The heartbeat, the breath into the nostrils, or the circuits.
Exactly.
But yeah, so Curtis, you bring a great point, man. Like the segment between RC and Optimus Prime in this episode was really good. Just them talking, acting like they're gonna die, or not acting. They thought they were gonna die. Was
Not gonna lie, it got to me when they held hands.
Oh, that was great.
Yeah. Good moment.
But no, I don't think, JC, I don't think you hate me for giving me this episode.
Thank you. I did not think I did.
But we'll see next batch of episodes if the cycle continues.
Oh gosh, I don't remember what I gave you for the next batch. We'll have an interesting surprise at the end. We'll see if I need to have a heart attack at the end.
So shall we move on to episode 8, Con Job? Curtis, take it away.
All right. So, Con Job was an episode that happened that I rather enjoyed. And I did not know it was the third in the pecking order, otherwise I would have had Wikipedia at the ready.
Oh, that is completely okay.
I kind of watched them all at once, so kind of like as a big movie.
Now, Josh, do you like the pun of Con Job?
Do I like the plot of Con Job? It's a very...
The pun.
Oh,
the pun. The pun of Con Job.
Oh, I didn't even think about it. Like, it wasn't my episode, so I didn't give the title name that much thought.
This pun theory is not holding up.
No, but you see,
it really is.
It's a... Oh, yeah, whatever. It literally is just one pun about, like, the theme about the episode. It's not multiple puns about the storyline of the episode. So, like, I don't mind puns at all. If you know me, I use puns all the time. But I usually don't stick to the same subjects.
Alright,
That could be due to ADHD, I don't know. Tell me, but whatever.
The Autobots receive a message from Wheeljack, an old friend of Bulkhead's from the days of the war, who is visiting Earth while journeying across the galaxy. Upon picking up the message's signal, Starscream and Soundwave capture Wheeljack before he can meet the Autobots, and they send in Makeshift, a Decepticon spy able to take on any form, disguised as Wheeljack to discover the location of the Autobot base. And hot point number one, and this is, I kind of did a stream of consciousness type thing with this specific episode just to be different. Hot point number one, judging by Wheeljack's voice, this is definitely a Josh Anthony character.
Yeah, it is!
Hey guys, I'm built a little different.
Yeah.
Dude, he was awesome. I love Wheeljack.
Wheeljack was so freaking cool!
Heck yeah.
Hot point number two, alright, he's got a sick face guard and swords, I'm in.
He's got katana, like, let's go! The dude has swords! Oh! And not sword hands, like, he has freaking swords.
Yeah.
That was so cool.
And, like, his fighting style is just awesome. And he, like, impaled dudes, like, 3 or 4 times in this specific episode, which was great.
Yes, it was. Fantastic.
Oh my.
The next top point is a Starscream came this close to the whole Hand and Paley thing when he was talking to the real Wheeljack. Like he was about to just impale him. Like, oh, what was the one Autobot's name?
Cliff Jumper.
style.
May he rest in peace.
May he rest in
R.I.P. Yeah, he just about murdered him if Soundwave wasn't like, hey, bro, chill out. Like,
Yep.
Megatron, like, killed a lot of people, but he's not stupid.
Yep.
Yep.
Although, honestly, he probably should have just killed him.
He probably should have. It would have been
That's
much better for
Soundwave's
the
fault.
Decepticons.
Yeah.
Yeah, so is Soundwave, does he get in the way of the Decepticons as well? Like, or at least Starscream's ability to lead them?
Well, I mean, think about it. Let's think about it this way. You got a general manager of a football team.
Yeah.
And the general manager hires a new coach. Starscream is the coach, and Soundwave is kind of acting as the GM. If you don't let the coach execute his vision, then he's not going to be a good leader.
True.
There you go.
So, I mean, I'd be curious to see what Starscream would actually do given all the rope. And I'm sure we'll see a modicum of that at some point.
Yeah.
That's not a good thing to behold.
If he feels,
I can't wait.
If he feels like Soundwave's getting in the way, he might take some measures. However, Soundwave is probably the most like useful Decepticon they've ever.
Yeah, he's way too useful.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Soundwave is totally an Autobot.
Oh.
Called it. Soundwave is an Autobot. Easy. In disguise this whole time. He can't talk because of the Autobot voice.
Because there's such a huge distinguish between the Autobots and Decepticons.
Yeah.
Yep.
Soundwave was the real phase shifter, like makeshift.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so the fake Wheeljack, who is actually the Decepticon makeshift that they intercept Wheeljack's ship with, is sent back to the Autobot base, and they start partying because he's one of Bulkhead's long-lost buds from his... What are they, Junkers?
Wreckers.
Same thing.
No.
No.
Wait, is there a class called Junkers?
No.
Oh.
See? Junkers, junk things, wreckers, wreck things. Same deal.
Junk things.
And
a little bit.
one of the interesting things that RC quipped was, I believe it was Jack who was like, "Hey, where's Optimus?" And she was like, he went for a drive. Primes don't party."
Yeah.
Which is kind of sad. Poor Optimus Prime.
That's what carrying the weight of the war on your shoulders, for a countless number of years, it'd be like that.
Well, we got to replace Bumblebee's voice, and then we got to replace Optimus Prime's fun bone. Because he lost it somewhere.
He just needs a bubble bath. Just put Optimus in a bath.
You know what? I bet Orion Pax was kind of just silly. I bet he was a silly boy, and then he got the spark of leadership, and he was like, "Oh, I understand."
Yeah.
Oh my.
Dude was hilarious.
Just absolute clown.
Throwing out librarian jokes or whatever.
Anyway, then I mused to myself, Makeshift is going to have to die. He knows their location, because Miko told it to him, which is fair because she thought he was an Autobot.
Yep.
Yeah.
I continue to be surprised by how not cringy Miko is. She is actually, pretty fun.
I love Miko.
So happy that that's working
I am
out.
Team Miko. Miko.
Yeah, Miko's growing on me quite a bit.
Yeah.
Especially her and, the relationship she has with that there. Man, I forget all their names.
Bulkhead?
Bulkhead, yes, Bulkhead.
Yes.
Okay.
And then,
Yeah.
oh, go ahead, Josh.
No, I was just gonna say, like, some of the names of the characters they have, like Transformers and Decepticons.
Oh, I have some thoughts on that when we get to my second episode.
Like, okay.
Worry not. I have a big discussion planned, probably an argument, which should be fun.
Okay.
Oh
yeah.
my.
Well, I'm definitely willing to have that discussion.
All right. So now we break open the action of this episode, and the real Wheeljack breaks out. He is not rescued, which is kind of cool. And he decimates the one Decepticon. He goes out on the bridge, and there's just this whole army of Decepticons. And Wheeljack's like, no problem. Whips out his sword, starts impaling dudes, starts deflecting laser blasts like a friggin' Jedi. It's like, come on.
The Jedi of Transformers.
Yep.
Heck yeah.
And then he goes back to the Autobot base, and while it was a short fight, Wheeljack versus Makeshift had some great music.
Yes, it did.
And then Makeshift gets sent back to the Decepticon ship, and here I'm thinking, well, that's dumb because he's definitely going to tell them their base location. But no, he just freaking dies because they activate like a pulse grenade or something on him, and he just explodes. And you're like, oh wow, they're just killing people left and right.
Facts.
Yeah. The Autobots have a way higher death count on their heads than the Decepticons will ever have.
Well, yeah, at least in named characters.
True. I mean, there's somebody out there, like, this is actually true, that counts all of the Viacons that the Autobots kill. It's like thousands before the show's over.
Oh man. But yeah, I overall thought this was a really good episode, and so I don't really agree with Josh's take that like the new bots that are introduced are better than the originals, but I think that every single new character that we've been introduced to in this batch specifically, I thought has only enriched the show as opposed to detracting from the main characters.
Yep. And they don't just like derail the stories when they add a new character. It just they integrate so seamlessly, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think that's a definite strength of the show so far. What did everyone else think?
Man, I loved Wheeljack. I liked his personality. And I thought he would. He's not how you would think he would sound, but he's pretty dope.
Yeah.
And I kind of wish he was gonna stay, but he's gonna go to more planets, I guess, and do something. He's doing something.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just say this: we hope to see him again.
We hope to see him.
He has a fantastic color palette.
Oh man,
yeah, good color scheme.
Looking like Sabaros. Nice.
wow! Just not the Italian flag or anything like that. Just
looking like Sabaros.
Sabaros.
Me and Anthony, big Sabaros fans.
Massive Sabaro boys.
Oh my goodness!
The most Indiana thing imaginable.
Okay. Okay. I didn't think that. What's his name? The other dude. The
Makeshift?
No. In episode 6.
So Skyquake.
Yes.
Skyquake.
I didn't think he was. Yeah, I didn't think he was cooler than all the other original characters. However, by design, Scrap Heap or not Scrap Heap. Wow. Actually, Wheeljack was pretty freaking awesome and maybe the cool. I mean, he had swords and the dude could fly.
No, he can't.
Wait, what? So that was the
That's the
Decepticon?
ship. That's the ship he has. He's got his own ship. He didn't transform from the ship. He was riding in the ship. That's why he's like, Bulkhead, there's room for 2 on my ship.
Well, dang.
It'd be weird if Bulkhead rode inside him.
Yeah.
Well, I thought he just had like a larger ship than that, like a much than himself. But
no,
I was so happy to see what I thought was an Autobot flying.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep my mouth.
Good choice.
Whenever
Yeah.
it will be, I don't know. I just think it's so much cooler and practical, and in many ways to be able to fly rather than just drive.
Yeah. In general, Autobots don't fly. There's a few exceptions to that rule in every continuity. But in
Yeah,
general,
why is that? It seems
pretty
really impractical.
super impractical. It gives
Well,
the Decepticons such a bigger edge. And imagine like dogfights between Autobots and like dogfights as an aircraft v aircraft. Like in Autobots versus Decepticons in the air, like you could see some super cool freaking fights.
Well, unless they're like stealth jets, it's not very stealthy, you know. And like
Well, like
they monitor their skies and stuff, like most governments do. So it's kind of hard to go under the radar when you're blasted through the skies.
I really think
So-
that they just made Autobots drive because it's closer to automobile.
well, that's wrong. But do you want the actual reason?
Okay, yeah, sure. I mean, that was just a feeling.
Did they explain it in the show?
No, they definitely don't explain it. Well, the actual real world reason is what I'm gonna give you, like the super geeky Transformer nerd answer. So, back in 1984, when they were starting the Transformers show, but even before the show, they were just figuring out what Transformers was gonna be. The original toy line for Transformers was a couple different toy lines that actually came out in Japan in the early 80s and or late 70s. Called, I think, Microchange and Diaclone. Those were the original toy lines that originated in Japan. And then Hasbro imported those figures from Japan, from those two different toy lines, changed their colors in some cases, changed their names. Like originally they were all like mechs and stuff like that, like mech suits and things. But they changed the entire continuity, they wrote backstories. A guy named Bud Budiansky wrote like every single character bio, and he basically created Transformers all by himself because he breathed life into these robots, and he made it so that he thought that the characters that were, I guess, more relatable and like would be the good guys would just be the cars and trucks. Those just seemed good to him, I guess, or to the guys, to the design team or whatever. And then they made the jets, all the Seekers, the Decepticons, the bad guys, and they made all of the like household items, like Megatron transformed into a gun originally. Soundwave was a micro cassette player, and who else? Reflector was 3 robots that turned into a camera. Like all these things, they just made the bad guys. So that's the real world reason why Decepticons in general fly and Autobots in general don't. We just lost all of our viewers. I'm so sorry.
No.
No,
Okay.
that was awesome. I
So-
enjoyed it greatly.
Wait, so what year did this occur?
1984 is the first year that the show came out. So this was the toys came out in the United States in '84 as well.
I'm just, what really came across his mind making think cars are good, everything else bad.
Yeah, I don't know. They just that original thing just felt that way.
Yeah,
basically.
It's just something I've always like somewhat criticized. I mean, I get like in terms of like stealth, but like they could be driving, and then in fight scenes they could be, flying or whatever,
Yeah. In season 2, they brought in a lot more Autobot flyers, though. So, in the original show, at least.
Yeah.
But still, most Autobots don't fly.
I was gonna say like, what about like Top Gun? But Top Gun came out after that, so.
Yeah, well, there you go. Well, I don't know if there were any other hot points on this episode besides me, but the Wreckers is actually a really, really important group of Autobots in the Transformers mythos. They're basically like the special ops team that are called in when on missions that no one else wants to do. Kind of like the Suicide Squad, except they're Autobot heroes.
I really thought they just were hired to wreck things, like garbage disposal.
No, this is the group that go on suicide missions that get the job done, And, one of them will occasionally die, but they get stuff done and they mess up cons like nobody else.
There were some pretty wild mission stories they were telling for just, junking things up,
Oh, yeah. You heard those stories in this episode. And, like, I don't know. Anthony, do you know much about the Wreckers?
I do know that they have their own comic series.
Yes. They have a couple really good comic books. Volumes of comic books that are really good. I own one of them, and I've read parts of it. I need to finish it.
I
It's really
read
good.
parts of the first one. I read parts of the first IDW ones.
Last Stand of the Wreckers?
Yep.
Yeah, that's the one I have. Real good. Bulkhead being a member of the Wreckers and Wheeljack being a member of the Wreckers are both additions from Transformers Prime. They're not in the original lineups.
I was going to say, neither one are near the Wrecker category at all.
Yeah. I mean, Bulkhead was an original character from Transformers Animated, which came out in 2008. So he hasn't been around that long. And Wheeljack, interestingly enough, Josh, you should really look up, and maybe Curtis too if you're interested, Wheeljack's G1 character design. Because he is completely different. Like, he does not
have a mouth.
He doesn't have a mouth. He just has the mouth plate, and he is a mechanic. He is not a warrior of any type. He literally builds things for the Autobots in the original show, like tech and stuff.
I was going to ask you, JC, what did you think of him having a mouth and not talking out of the glowy stuff out of his face?
I actually really like this version of Wheeljack. Like, they changed him in such a cool way, and like, I gotta keep my mouth shut. But yeah, he's changed in a really cool way, and I love, like, for most of the characters that changed, like even Bulkhead is very different from his animated counterpart, but they changed them in good, compelling ways to keep them fresh, but they still like snuck in ways that the original characters are still present within, and they just updated their designs to look super cool. They just did all good things, so I'm really happy with it.
I'm liking the whole mask look. Like, it almost gives me Mask of the Phantasm vibes. Like,
okay,
that's really cool. But in his G1 look, I'm not seeing swords, and so that's a no.
He has a shoulder launcher and he has wrenches.
Yeah, those swords were so freaking cool.
Yes, I completely agree.
Right.
But the only other thing I was going to really quickly mention is Makeshift is really cool because, and we will get into this in depth in one of these episodes eventually, but there's the 13 original Transformers, and one of them is a guy called Amalgamus Prime, who, like Makeshift, was a shifter. And he could basically change his appearance to become anything, basically. Kind of like how Makeshift can become anything. But the original Amalgamus could do that, like, to a whole nother level. Like, his appearance was constantly shifting. Like, every second, pretty much. So, Makeshift is basically a descendant of Amalgamus Prime, somehow. I don't really understand how that works, but he kind of, like, got his power somehow. So it's really cool.
I was going to ask JC, does Makeshift come from this show, or is he before?
No, Makeshift, he also appeared in the In Continuity to Transformers Prime novel, Transformers Exiles, and he appears in this show, and that's, I think, his only media appearances, at least up to the point of the show.
Fascinating.
Yeah. And, by the way, Scraplets are an original creation of the show as well.
Oh, okay.
That makes sense.
I was going to say, like, I don't remember that life form being on Cybertron from what I remember of Cybertron lore.
Right. No, those are new things.
Shall we move on to episode 9?
Convoy.
Yeah. Convoy, my episode. So let me pull up that good old Wikipedia summary. Let's see here. Convoy. Agent Fowler asked for the Autobots' assistance in transporting a powerful nuclear device to a military base. But since sending such a device through the ground bridge could be potentially dangerous, they have to travel by road. Along the way, the Autobots are ambushed by mech a terrorist organization who wish to steal the nuclear device and use it for their own nefarious purposes. And to make things worse, the Decepticons get involved as well.
Wow, that was
So
long.
guys, to hot point number 1, Mech and their leader, Silas. We finally get some human villains up in here. What are your guys' reactions to seeing human villains against the Transformers?
I mean, he seems pretty cool. He seems like he could actually be a threat. Seems really smart. I thought it was interesting that when he was talking and Megatron, not Megatron, Optimus Prime heard him, he was like, he compared him to Megatron.
Yeah, his ideology.
Yeah, his ideology. And like
Yeah.
how dangerous it could be.
Earth has spawned its own Decepticons.
Yeah.
I'm just remembering of what Mech does in the future, and it's wild, dude.
Oh, a little bit of a foreshadowing report right there.
Yeah, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but like, man, it gets wild.
It gets wild.
Yeah, honestly, I didn't write many hot points off of this episode, but it was fun.
Yeah. What did you think, Curtis?
Of Mech or just the episode in general?
Yeah, just Mech and Silas.
I mean, they so far seem like standard military bros. So, I mean, I'm open to them being good characters, but they were certainly boring in this to me.
That's fair. So, whenever this episode first aired in, 2011 probably, it was actually really interesting. I was kind of apprehensive at first, because Transformers Animated, the show that directly preceded this one, used a lot of human villains, actually. More than they should have. And they did that in an effort to make it so that when the Decepticons showed up, they were, way more of a threat. And they, could be more intimidating. Because
the stakes were being raised.
Yeah, exactly. Because the Autobots were kind of used to dealing with, enhanced humans. So, I was kind of worried that they would go that way with Transformers Prime, but I was very pleased with how they introduced Mech and how they continue to use them going forward. Not to give anything away, but I'm really happy with them. I think they're a good introduction and a good addition to the show as well as the other new characters that were added. And just another hot point, just an interesting fact, Convoy, the title of the episode, in addition to just, being a convoy like, the name is, like the word implies, it's also the Japanese name for Optimus Prime. Over there they call him Convoy.
Oh, really?
That's fun.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's fun. Yeah, I like that.
Mm-hmm. So that was an interesting little Transformers Easter egg as well. And then another hot point is that Agent Fowler is back with the great quotes. Who's the con who shot me down? Who is it? Wingnut? Dingbat? Sky Guy?
Oh, that was great.
See, that is another point towards those names. But yeah.
Love Agent Fowler. Everything that comes out of that man's mouth. Such a good character, in my opinion.
I think it's been a lot of fun so far.
Oh, yeah. And then, actually, my final hot point is that in this episode, we get to see Optimus Prime getting knocked out by a Vehicon. Spoiler alert, that's never happening again.
Yeah. I mean,
that was pretty lame.
He was smart using a tree.
Yeah. Never again, trust me.
Yeah, that was something.
Yeah, don't worry. But yeah, I enjoyed the episode. I thought it was a solid time. Not maybe as integral to the others, but to the plot as some of the others. But I mean,
it introduced what I assume is big time villains.
Big time villains that will come back later. So in a long term sense, it is. In the short term, what we've seen, it seems very out of place.
Yeah.
So, other thoughts about the episode?
liked it, actually. I liked the whole train thing and like how they hid the thing. I didn't realize what was going on. I was juked too.
Oh man, it was a good diversion. Like they thought it through.
Yeah.
And I like when Optimus stops the train.
Oh yeah, that's
That was a good moment. And one other quick Easter egg is that Optimus actually has his G1 trailer in this episode that the original G1 Optimus Prime had, and I think this is the only episode it ever appears in.
Oh.
Really? Wow.
I don't think it appears in any other episode.
This episode was made for you, JC.
Really?
They were all made for me.
Yeah. Oh man.
Well, if there are no other hot points, we can just jump into Deus Ex Machina.
Deus Ex Machina, episode 10.
Episode 10. Wikipedia says that the Autobots discover that an Energon harvester, an ancient and powerful device from Cybertron's distant past, is on display in a museum, and they attempt to retrieve it with Jack, Miko, and Raphael's aid before it falls into the wrong hands. Starscream also, all the while, learns of the harvester's whereabouts and sends Soundwave along with new Decepticons, Knockout and Breakdown, to obtain it. Just had to throw that all the while in there to make up for other things.
Yeah.
It needed a little spice, so I had to just add that in there. So, something that also is just a deep cut is that Bulkhead, they mention here, is a former construction laborer.
Yeah.
And he was not always warrior class, they mention. And that's kind of similar to his Transformers animated counterpart.
That's where I got my wires crossed.
What's that?
That's how I got confused about like what
What a wrecker was.
what were they? They weren't junkers. They were
Wreckers.
Yeah, I thought all that was the same thing.
Oh, no, not at all. So this was like before he was even a wrecker. He was a construction laborer. And the Transformers animated version of Bulkhead was like an Energon farmer slash like Energon farmer, but he also was a space bridge mechanic. So this was a callback to his origins in animated, being a mechanic for space bridges. So I thought that was pretty cool.
It is really cool.
Yeah. And they also kind of bring up the fact that he was, like they call it warrior class and like a construction laborer. Like Cybertron, ancient Cybertron was like full-on caste system. Like everyone had their roles, they had to fit into their molds, and they weren't expected to ever go outside of like their caste. So they're kind of just like sprinkling in little hints of that into here without like directly saying that. Like Cybertron was very messed up for a long period of time before the Great War, when the caste system was in place. So millions and millions of years ago. But yeah, just giving you all the Transformers background.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I mean, we kind of see that within the way the Autobots function, right? Like, Ratchet is the medic, not just because of his skills. It just seems like it is what it is. Like, Optimus is the leader, and that it is what it is. Like,
Well, actually, back during the cast days, Optimus was something very different, but that's foreshadowing for another episode, maybe.
Oh, all right.
But yeah, you're kind of on the right track here. So, we get 2 new Decepticons. And these Decepticons are kind of breaking the mold for what Decepticons have been up to this point.
Mm-hmm.
They are ground vehicles. And they are Knockout and Breakdown. So guys, what are your initial thoughts of these characters?
Like them both.
I like him too.
Yeah?
Might even have a hot take here. Again, by design.
Knockout's cooler than Megatron. You heard it here first.
Knockout is the coolest car design.
Ooh.
I mean, yeah, sure.
Straight
I mean,
up.
I'm not a car guy, so I'll take your word for it.
Yeah. Very much the coolest car design. He's like almost an old Toyota, like an '80s Toyota look. So, which is obviously Japanese. So there's probably reason for that. But yeah, it literally looks like a Japanese or a JDM or Japanese domestic market car, which is
Okay.
awesome.
Cool.
Yeah.
I will take your word for that.
I like his voice.
Yeah, he has a
I
good voice,
love.
too.
I was gonna say that. I love Knockout's voice so
He's got a
much.
great voice.
Knockout's easily my favorite Decepticon right now.
Oh man. You know, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure Nolan North. No, wait, no, he doesn't. Never mind. I don't know who voices Knockout.
He's familiar. I know his voice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just like how he's like. He's kind of for like Decepticon cause, but he's mainly just like, man, I just like racing and like fencing myself.
Do what
He
I
is
want.
a car enthusiast. Darren Norris. Yeah.
Who's done a lot of Fairly Odd Parents stuff.
Oh,
That's
man.
probably where I've heard him.
Yeah.
Yeah, a ton of Fairly Odd Parents stuff.
He's just all the voices on Fairly Odd Parents.
Yeah, for real.
Me and Anthony have like the first like 5 seasons of Fairly Odd Parents baked into our souls.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, we basically exclusively watched that and SpongeBob, and that was it.
Oh man. I did really like some Fairly Odd Parents growing up.
Alright, so he in Fairly Odd, he's Cosmo.
Oh, he's Cosmo. That's
there
why.
you go.
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting. But yeah. Did we just lose
Did
Anthony?
we just lose somebody?
Oh no.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yeah. Well, I hope Anthony... Maybe his phone died again. Hopefully not.
Oh, he's back. But
Oh?
he's muted.
Oh
Oh
no.
no.
Well, I don't know what happened. It just cut out.
I
Oh,
have
no.
no idea.
We're glad
Thank
you're
goodness
back.
we can hear you.
Yes.
We're back. We're back.
Oh man. Okay. Well, did anyone have anything else they wanted to say about Knockout and Breakdown in general before I kind of go on my spew about them?
I like Breakdown's vibe too, because like he's like a big like muscly guy, but he has a really chill vibe.
He's also showing
Yeah.
his
And
mess.
his voice actor is good too.
He was taking some people down.
Oh yeah, he's a bruiser.
Like one-on-one, he was taking Bulkhead to the house.
Yeah.
JC, I was going to ask you about this. What do you think of Breakdown's design from here, and then also the one in War for Cybertron? Because he's completely different there.
Yeah. So, okay. So I'll go ahead and I'll jump into it. So Knockout is an original character who it originated here in the show. There's never been another version of Knockout. This is his only appearance in Transformers history.
Wow.
Yeah. So this show really, added some really high quality characters and added a lot of cool concepts to the Transformers mythos, including Knockout, who's just a great addition. And then Breakdown, to answer Anthony's question, in the original G1 continuity, he is a Stunticon who is a member of the 5-part combiner team that creates the Decepticon combiner Minosaur.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, and he looks, and the War for Cybertron version basically has that same look as the original version. Basically, a sports car, kind of like Knockout, is the original version.
And he's like Bumblebee size.
Yeah, like Bumblebee size, exactly. So this show kind of just like took that, put it on its head, separated him, because like before in all the other continuities, he's just a part of Minosaur. Like he has his own character, but barely. He's just he's like a leg or an arm of a bigger robot, and that's pretty much it. And this show just said, hey, we're going to take that guy, we're going to make him way cooler, make him this big bruiser, and make him basically Bulkhead's archenemy, and make him really cool. And I love that they did that.
Alright.
They breathed life into a character that otherwise did not have it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, War for Cybertron is the same continuity, right?
It sure is. That doesn't mean that
So is
everything
this a
lines up.
continuity error, or did he just choose to be bigger?
Oh, I'm sure that the show would find some way to, work it all in. But here's a spoiler alert. The aligned continuity, which is the Transformer Prime continuity, doesn't work at all because there were different creative people behind the video games, there were different creative people behind the show, and the people who made the sequel show to Prime, Robots in Disguise, said, I don't care about anything from the video games, so we're just going to make our own thing. And nobody respected the continuity whatsoever. So...
You're telling me the aligned universe is not aligned at all?
Exactly.
That's hilarious.
That's exactly right. Yeah. So the Transformers Prime, you can reconcile the games and the show enough. Like you can say that Breakdown just scanned a new vehicle and he got separated from the other Stunticons. Like that's easy enough to explain away.
Yeah.
It works. And the same thing for why Soundwave and Starscream look different. They just scan different vehicles and they change their colors, and it is what it is. And there's been comics that kind of explain those things. But yeah, you kind of have to just make it work.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You deserve a big Transformers cinematic universe that is all consistent and great.
Why, thank you. One day I will write it.
oh gosh, I love it.
But yes, thank you, Curtis. But yeah, so that is Knockout and Breakdown. Really cool characters. Love them. Glad they are in the show now. So the other thing that was kind of the focal point of the episode was, of course, the Energon Harvester, which, as far as I know, was also an original creation of this show.
I'm an Energon Harvester.
So, yeah, basically this tool that was used to kind of extract Energon from mines was then used as, like, this horror weapon by Starscream to suck the lifeblood out of one of his own troopers, which was dark. Josh?
Yes. Yes, it was.
Can we get a word from the darkness correspondent?
Oh, that's a title right there.
Yep, darkness correspondent.
Can we make that official?
All right.
It replaces all of his defunct titles.
No, it does not.
Yes.
Right,
Josh,
anyways,
we officially vote you in one official title. And that is the darkness correspondent.
Let me get my word. That scene I absolutely loved because you couldn't tell whether or not Starscream was pointing it at, like, Knockout and them, like, because they jumped out of the way. So,
yeah.
I don't think Starscream would have cared either way, and I loved it.
Yeah. I mean, Starscream obviously doesn't like them. At the beginning of the episode, he's just like, oh, you're one of those.
Yeah, he's like, I don't understand why any self-respecting Decepticon can choose being an automobile over flight. So
now, since they're the same race, that's not racism, is it? It's just more prejudice against, I guess, automobile Decepticons.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, but I mean, he has a point with choosing an automobile over flight. But he is the coolest car, so I mean, I'll give him that. But yeah, it was a dark choice, and I thought it was pretty cool. It would have been, and we got to see more of it in later in this episode.
Yes, really cool stuff.
Would have been wild if it had done what it had did before to the character they did it. Like, as far as actual big name death like that, like, ooh, this show would be on another level.
Yes. I also loved how Agent Fowler was on an intensive training retreat this entire episode.
Until
I really was hoping we were going to cut away to him doing something completely idiotic.
Oh, me too. That would have been
That was a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
Like square dancing or something. I was hoping to see square dancing.
Because the dude is a big goon. I want to see him doing goonish stuff.
or training the Brotherhood and X-Men at a summer camp.
Oh man, heck yeah! It was great though. Like whenever he walks in, like he was just so done with everything when he's rescuing Miko from the security guard, and he's just like, "Oh yeah, here's your phone. I found it right next to your history reports."
Yeah.
Oh my
He's
goodness!
like, I'm done with these people. I'm gonna go on a retreat.
Again. But yeah, that was a fun episode, guys.
Yeah. There was one moment that I thought was cool where Breakdown and Knockout were about to get in a fight with I don't know if it was everybody. I don't remember. But then Breakdown looks at him and is like, fight? And then Knockout's like, drive. It's like, let's leave.
Yeah, that was cool.
They know when to drive.
Yeah. But yeah, Knockout definitely is much looking for himself. Like, he totally left Breakdown in that fight with Bumblebee and Bulkhead. Like, he's like,
Oh, yeah.
nah, I'm gonna leave. Like, hope you're okay. I'm gone.
Yeah.
His little Decepticon ways. But yeah, those are the only. But yeah, I loved Knockout's design. Definitely
Yes.
the coolest car.
Any other thoughts?
I think that's about it.
Yeah, I thought it was a pretty fun episode.
Yeah.
Move on to that there speed metal, Anthony.
Moving on to Speed Metal. Jack convinces Bumblebee to help him with a street race, but the action speeds out of control with the arrival of Knockout. So there's a lot of Jack in this episode. This was a Jack episode.
Oh yeah.
Mr. Darby.
Mr. Darby. I love him that that's his last name. No offense to anyone named Darby, but it's a fun name to say.
It is.
And to hear other people say it. So first hot point, all these kids be racing around. That's like their main
these
thing.
16-year-olds.
All these like 15 to 16-year-olds are just like, yeah, bro, if you're gonna prove yourself, go out back to the desert. Let's race. And everyone's into it.
It's about family.
Yeah. Okay, you were. Okay, so this is another thing. Like, Vin Diesel would definitely approve of this show. We have an episode about street racing, ladies and gentlemen. Like, Vin Diesel likes this show, and that's another reason why The Rock left, probably. But yeah. So this is another episode that I felt like would have been up my wheelhouse, but we're good.
Sorry.
No.
I knew that as soon as we decided that JC was going to assign these, that Josh would be the one to take exception with it.
Oh man.
It was so predictable, and I love it.
Oh man. But yeah, it is an episode about street racing. That's pretty cool.
Yep. This is a Josh episode in the hands of an Anthony. Alright, so next hot point. We get to see Knockout just freaking lose it on these kids. Because one of them, like, scratches him or whatever. And he's like, alright, I'm gonna kill these people.
Yep.
And push them off of this cliff.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Nobody dies. With these insane wrecks, nobody dies at all.
I thought for sure that kid died. But he's like, oh, instead he's just like looking around, man, I'm dizzy.
Yeah.
Can't kill kids on a Y7 show. You can't do it.
Nope. Not at
You
all.
just can't.
Can't cross that line. But yeah, this episode was pretty fun. I like how they're all hiding it from Optimus, that like Jack's street racing. It's like, oh man, don't tell Optimus. He's gonna freak out. I'm like, I don't think he'd freak out. He'd probably just be like, don't be irresponsible, and that'd be it.
Yeah.
Well, you remember Optimus in like episode 1 or 2, where he's just like, "Have you broken a law, Jack?"
True.
Jack's broken a lot of laws. He broke.
Mm-hmm.
And then Optimus told him to break a law to go to the museum.
Oh yeah, they brought that up. Yeah, like sometimes things are more important.
Sometimes you just gotta do it, Jack. Now go buy me some cigarettes. Yep, not okay, Optimus.
Oh man.
And then let's see. Yeah, all around, I didn't have too many high points for this episode. It was just some fun action, some fun racing. I don't know if I like the girl Jack's into though.
Oh no,
Oh
she's
yes,
sucks.
yeah.
I don't like her at all.
I don't think I like her.
Really?
Yeah, she's super shallow.
She was a jerk to him like in the first episode, and she's still a jerk to him.
No, I totally
She's like,
agree.
"Oh, you got a bike?
Yeah.
You got a bike? Wow."
But I'll only ride with you if you go faster than the car.
Yeah.
Man, this is the car person speaking out. Me. But like, there was a time where Jack he was like gloating about the speed of his bike, and he's like, this can go 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds. That's not fast, guys, for a bike.
Oh.
No. For a bike, that's actually really slow.
Nice.
Like, there's lots of sports cars out there. Like, not like you don't even have to go top of the line sports cars that have faster 0 to 60s than that. And that's a car. Bikes, I usually have much faster 0 to 60s. Where they slow down is like the 0 to 100 speed. But anyways, total random person tidbit, but that was not a good gloat.
Hey, I can't do all the deep dives.
They didn't do their research. The writers did not do their research on cars.
What did you guys think of the line that Jack said to what's his name, the kid, Raph?
Vince?
Where he's like, "Can I borrow Bumblebee?" Like,
Yeah.
I was like, he does not own him.
like he's the guardian of him. What do you mean, borrow Bumblebee?
I mean, he's definitely super duper close, and like has a huge connection. From what we saw in my episode, actually, Scrap Heap, like the way Raph responded after Bumblebee getting attacked, like there's a huge attachment there. So
Yeah.
he probably would have felt hurt if someone just like, "Hey Bumblebee, let's go for a ride."
I feel like it was more phrased as like just using him as a vehicle, but not like as Bumblebee.
Yeah.
True.
I think I didn't like either, Anthony. I think a lot of it comes from the fact that Jack can't communicate with Bumblebee, so I think that's why I phrased it that way.
That's true.
Yeah, I thought it was an interesting kind of problem that he had when he's driving Bumblebee. He's like, "I don't know what you're saying."
They never explain how Raph understands Bumblebee.
Dude, that's just what Raph does, man.
Yeah,
It's just
I guess he's coding or
Just
whatever.
Raph being Raph.
Yeah, dude. Raph's kind of off the wall sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see one bad day of Raph, for him taking over the world.
Him and Bumblebee. Yeah.
Could totally
Man,
see that.
Give Bumblebee a cape, boom. Instant villain.
Oh man.
It will be a voice box to where he only speaks in smooth jazz.
Oh, true. But then he starts
We
going
need-
off lines of how Autobots were actually sent to Earth to take over Earth and, help them, cave and become servants to the Autobots
Oh man.
instead of the Viltrumites.
Oh gosh. Well, now we've got to have evil Bumblebee, guys.
Oh, wait, when evil Bumblebee's color scheme changed?
It'd be from like yellow to like slightly darker yellow, but you can't really tell.
Oh, okay.
It's just like Dijon Bumblebee.
Dijon. Instead of yellow mustard, we've gone to Dijon mustard, bro. Or a spicy brown. There's a bunch of like dark stripes on it.
Oh no.
Bro, evil Bumblebee. There's probably a comic line where like Bumblebee, or like an issue where Bumblebee was like taken over by some sort of evil device.
Probably.
Josh, we we are never gonna see an evil Bumblebee. Just
Yeah.
let those words be marked down for the
I'm
record.
gonna look it up to see if there's some issue where he was, taking over.
No, Josh, actually, don't do that. Don't do that.
What am I gonna get into, JC?
Just trust me. Don't do it.
It's
No.
probably horrible. It's probably
Just-
really bad.
Just trust me. Just trust me.
Oh my goodness.
Anyway, that's about all my hot points. Oh yeah, Starscream is like, oh, this will only be cosmetic, and he goes to scratch knockout. Oh
Yeah, I guess he got scratched.
He's like, I'll give you a little scratch.
Yeah.
Hey, he knows how to hit him where it hurts.
True.
The drones below him are like, man, I hope I don't get scratched.
That kind of makes me think of like how Transformers get repaired per se.
Medics.
Yeah, I guess so. And like devices that they can hook themselves up to or whatever.
Yeah, I like how we get repaired.
What? Yes, kind of.
Like they have equipment that doctors use to perform surgeries and do things.
JC, I feel like wants to
that
live
reminds
in
me.
the world of Transformers. Just
That reminds me of this of the quote in this episode where he's like, "Hey, RC, you can't like fix this bike," and he's like, "Hey, can you make an intestine?"
yeah.
Hey, you dumb kid, stupid.
Honestly, that was a good point. Because, like, when I was, 11 years old watching this, I was like, yeah, Jack, you tell her. And I was like, oh. Yeah.
Yeah. Though, it's a little different, but I get because she scanned the vehicle, right? So she should know the inner workings of the vehicle.
If you put on a costume, Josh, do you know the inner workings of the costume?
Yeah, usually.
Like a super intricate one that you've never seen before?
Yeah, but I didn't
Like
scan it and become it. She didn't put on a costume, she became the costume.
Aren't we all just a costume?
Oh.
Oh, man. I love that.
I think we broke the logic there because she scanned a bike and became it completely, almost.
Well, I think it's like a subconscious type of thing where, your body just kind of takes over and does the thing, but your consciousness isn't aware of all of it.
But then that takes away from the ability to consciously transforming and using all the parts that are part of their body.
Well, transforming is like walking for us. It just kind of happens. You learn how to do it, and then
you know exactly how to do it, and maybe you didn't take A&P, but you still know. I'm just saying.
We're getting way too deep into
off topic.
biology.
Way off topic.
Hot
But
points.
she did scan a motorcycle and become that motorcycle, so she should know more of the inner workings than she let on.
Thank you, John.
Yeah.
What I appreciated about RC is her quote in this episode: "You don't want to just beat him, Jack. You want to make him cry."
Yes.
That was awesome.
That was good.
And then the second thing I wanted to bring up for this episode is Optimus just ripping Knockout's door arm off.
Oh, that was great.
Do you know how hard that is to replace? That drives away.
Oh, man. Good stuff. But that's all I have to say.
Alright, shall we move on to episode 12?
Yeah.
Predatory.
Let us do just that. Alright, episode 12, Predatory. Jack accompanies RC on a routine scouting mission in a forest where they discover a crashed spaceship. They soon discover that the owner of the ship, the deadly and ruthless Decepticon sadist, known as Arachnid, is still prowling the forest in search of a human to hunt, putting Jack in danger and causing RC to have visions regarding her last encounter with Arachnid on Cybertron during a mission with her partner Tailgate. Man, okay, I don't know if they ripped these descriptions from an official source, but these are really well written.
They are.
But yeah. Hot point number 1. I dig the spooky vibes / environmental storytelling. It's like when we first see like the crash ship, and then like RC is looking around. You see like these like claw marks on all the trees. Like, ooh, that's pretty intense.
Yes.
Hot point number 2. Speaking of intense, Cybertronian PTSD is no joke.
For real.
Yep.
Because like all those flashbacks with between RC and Arachnid are terrifying.
Yes. Give me more.
Is it dark
Give
enough,
me
Josh?
more.
Like that friggin' like energon blood spatter on the wall when like she kills Tailgate.
Oh.
Dang. Like right in front of RC. Yikes.
Ooh. Oh man, I loved it. It was so
Yep.
Hot point number 3. There are a lot of cool Autobot / Decepticon names. Arachnid is definitely not one of them.
No.
Thought this name was lame as heck.
So unoriginal. Come on.
But the funny thing is, the name is a pun because it's
Yes,
AIR.
Arachnid. Because doesn't she turn into like a helicopter or something?
Spoiler alert, but yes.
Wait.
Oh, I
You
didn't.
say
I
it's
didn't
a
know.
pun
I thought
because-
she already could.
It's a pun because of what?
Instead of just arachnid, it's AIR. Air achnid.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, that's lame.
Yeah.
That's even worse.
Makes it a little bit better, honestly. A little bit better.
It makes it a little better.
I don't know. The name is
Josh
garbage.
hates puns. Josh hates puns.
I don't
Because
hate puns. I use
he's a
puns all
spider
the time.
helicopter.
I just don't think. I don't think we've been really like, or me personally, has been exposed to like a lot of really cool Autobot / or just Transformers name in general.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, we're gonna get a character where we know it called Trash Heap. Like, it's gonna be there. Like, you know, like,
There is a character named Junkie, I think.
or like,
Nice.
you know, I don't know. Just like some of the names, they really. You know that they're appealing to kids, and I guess there's so many different Transformers out there. It's hard to come up with some names, but
They got to get creative with the trademarks.
yeah.
But no, I agree. I was thrown off as a kid by Arachnid because I saw Spider female Transformer, and Anthony, I was right along with you probably, being like, this is Black Arachnia, right? But this is not Black Arachnia.
It is that.
No, it's not. Arachnid's actually an original character of the show.
Really?
Just like a
Yeah.
Is Tailgate an original character?
Nope, Tailgate's all the way back to G1, actually.
Oh, wow.
Really bad name, but yeah.
Yeah. But Tailgate's barely in G1.
Josh, there's your killing off an important character. Make it into the next level.
That was
Tailgate.
no. Oh man.
Tailgate is my favorite Transformer of all time.
We barely saw him. All shadows. We saw
I am a
shadows of
Tailgate
Tailgate.
fan through and through.
Hey, you got a white shoulder, and he's white, so you got enough. Be happy.
Yep.
Also, that scene where like Arachnid like scratches RC's face. Oof, I felt that one.
Yeah, that was okay. So the first time she reaches in to scratch her face, RC screamed. The time where it played it back, she did not. I don't know. It was an inconsistency.
Didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Josh just kind of notices these things, man.
I do. I noticed things. We've stated on this podcast. I know these small details.
I mean, I think you've stated, Josh, not we.
Oh well, whatever. Like, it's true. I may be the one stating it, but it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, Curtis, this is your episode. I was just kind of thinking, like, what did everybody think of Arachnid's design?
I actually really liked it.
Anthony?
I loved her design.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was a really cool design and something different than what we're seeing, so that was cool.
Yes. I love how she utilizes the spider legs in different ways, like to tunnel at the end and as like spears and as a way to like propel herself in robot mode. So many different cool ways.
True. She's like a mixture
And she's
between
fun to
Spider-Man
play
and
as in
Doc
the
Ock,
Transformers Prime video game.
in which I don't think I'll ever play, but maybe.
It's pretty good.
It is surprisingly good.
It's a lot of fun.
I've never played this game.
I think you
We
like
will,
it.
JC. We will, JC.
Oh, I'm in.
When JC buys a Wii U,
Oh, it's
All
on
bets
Wii
are off.
U. Oh man.
Yeah, it's Wii U and 3DS. I'm not sure if it's on anything else, but
And 3DS.
Oh, yeah.
Are the games different between the two?
they're the exact same. And the 3DS one was really good.
Whoa.
yep.
Wow.
Well, 3DS one was what me and Curtis played.
Yep.
So
It's a
what
dark era of Wii U history.
What kind of game we talking? We talking like a side scroller? Like what are we talking?
No, like a 3D action game
Mm.
with hack and slash elements.
And you can transform on command.
Yeah,
And
that's
put
cool.
it into your combat.
Yeah, you can like string together combos that way.
Wow.
That was pretty cool.
And like all the voice actors are back, I think.
But yeah, I like Arachnid's design as well. She's like a mixture between Doc Ock and Spider-Man,
Yeah.
but it was cool. All right, Curtis.
Next hot point. How about those severed heads in Arachnid's ship?
Great.
Like with the eyeballs bulging out?
Yeah. It's like, it kind of reminded me of those times, when you would see like a movie where someone's kidnapped by some alien or some type of like monster, and you're like in their little home and you see all of these like dead beings kind of thing. That's the vibes that I got.
Yeah.
Okay, Anthony's going to be the only one against the servants, but Anthony, I realize it's like a spoof off Predator, but every time like they go the whole Predator trope of like, oh, this is like someone who collects things around the galaxy, I think of that Duck Dodgers episode with Wile E. Coyote.
Dude, I forgot
Dude.
about that episode.
Yep. That episode's like in my deep memory, and every time I think of like, oh yeah, he was collecting those aliens, and he was fighting against Marvin the Martian.
Yep. Bro, we gotta review that series.
Dude, we gotta review Duck Dodgers.
My
Duck
Like
Dodgers
that-
is legendary.
The main theme, immediately number one.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Instantaneously
good.
number one. Kills Iron Man.
That show is one of the funniest shows I've ever seen.
Oh, it's so good.
And there's darkness in it.
There's darkness and continuity somewhat.
Yeah. He becomes a Green Lantern at one point.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. I'm so in.
Wow.
That's three votes, bro.
Oh.
There's already so many shows that we've agreed we want to review.
Duck
That's
Dodgers is at the top of the list.
Top of the list.
I guess.
All right. Next top point. How savage was it that she brought up Cliff Jumper as being like, yeah, like maybe you should fly solo like me because all your friends friggin' die.
Yeah, straight up. Not only did she bring up Cliff Jumper, we saw Cliff Jumper.
Yeah, we
But
did.
he
He
did
made a little
not save.
cameo when he saved her.
In the flashbacks, Josh, because we got flashbacks.
Yes, no, I appreciate. I already praised the flashbacks. We got the daggum flashbacks, all right, and I was happy to see the past and how things worked out, and they did really well. I'm slightly disappointed. Obviously, as you stated, we're not getting Megatron Optimus flashbacks with them two. However, these were some good flashbacks.
Thank goodness.
They were good. An element maybe a little scary for kiddos.
Yeah, a little bit. This would be traumatizing to watch if I was like 5.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's Y7. It's Y7. You can't watch it.
Yep.
When you're
This is a hard Y7.
Yeah.
Oh man.
All right, last hot point. At the end, Jack came through with the fire.
Yeah.
Boy is resourceful. That was a very resourceful thing, man. I was hoping to see his mac and cheese, though. You know, like his freeze-dried mac and cheese. Give me that mac and cheese. I could go for some mac and cheese right now.
Go get you some.
I've ate so well today. I don't think I'm going to.
Oh my. But no, I mean, Jack was smart. I mean, he was like, Energon is explosive. Let's just light this baby up.
Yep. He was very smart in that way. I love the whole sequence though. Like he's starting to like light it up, and like Arachnid hears, and she's like scurrying because that's like the way you would describe her movement, right? Scurrying. Like,
Yeah.
she's like scurrying her way to attack Jack, and he gets the sparks off and is able to light it off.
Also, it took me a little bit to realize that like her spider form was not just her regular robot form. Like when she transformed into like her actual robot form, I was like, oh, okay, she looks cool there too.
Yeah, when she actually like has legs.
Mm-hmm.
So JC, what is she considered?
She's a
Like-
Decepticon.
She's just a Decepticon with like a second-ish form or whatever?
It's like an in-between form. She doesn't really transform. She just kind of, like, her legs just kind of, like, half transform, and then her spider legs come down.
Okay, so
I see.
It's like a battle mode type of thing. That's how I think of it.
not to okay, so this doesn't like completely take care of the unoriginal, or not unoriginal, the lack of creative names that they give Transformers, but the just like seeing a Transformer have somewhat of a different form in this way is pretty cool. Like
Yeah.
that's pretty cool.
It's cool that she doesn't just transform into a spider, because that's been done.
Yeah.
Yeah, Beast Wars.
Beast Wars.
But yeah, that was my last hot point.
So
What did you all think of this fine episode?
So, as we've talked up RC quite a bit, and who she is as a character and stuff like that, and I've grown to enjoy her more. I never hated her, but this episode, I was like, yo, I'm really, really liking RC. She might be my favorite Autobot.
Mmm.
You're on the right side of history.
Heck yeah.
Because, I mean, they really start... This batch of episodes, they really strayed away from the Optimus, you know, storyline of what's going on and stuff, So yeah, they've done good by RC, and having her flashbacks and stuff like that, killing her partner right in front of her,
Yeah.
and, you know, throwing, you know, the whole cliff jumper thing in there too. It was great. She also had a pretty harsh line towards Jack where she said, "You're not my partner, you're a liability." Oof.
Yeah.
But then she calls him junior partner at the end.
Character growth.
Yeah!
I like their tension.
Yes.
I like how the past few episodes have really been building up like RC and Bulkhead respectively, you know?
Yeah.
Giving them all background.
Yeah.
I need some Bumblebee action.
Oh,
So-
yeah.
We kind of got Bumblebee action in this one, because where they mentioned that Bumblebee was not, was it Masters and Students? Yeah.
Oh, when he was a scout, not a warrior.
Yeah, and so they kind of mentioned that, and then he goes off and does some pretty epic stuff. But
Yeah.
in terms of who he is as a character, you're right. We haven't seen much growth, and it's hard to show growth in a character that can't talk, but it's doable. It's doable.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm still kind of on the fence about them keeping that from the movies, like him having a crushed voice box. I don't know. Not my favorite thing about the show, to be honest.
Shall we rank these episodes, boys?
Let's do it.
Alright. Does anybody have their list already done?
I got it.
Give it to us.
All right. Bringing up the rear, we have Scrap Heap. That was the only one that kind of felt like truly fillery to me. Then Convoy, Deus Ex Machina, Speed Metal coming in at number 4, Con Job at number 3, Masters and Students at number 2, and Predatory at number 1.
I like it.
I didn't think there were too many hot takes on there.
No, not really.
I like it.
Some would say they were quite cold takes, actually. Which, that's okay. Sometimes you gotta have cold takes.
Alright.
So who would like to go next?
I can go. Oh, wait. I'm trying to get this second to last one, and then I can go. 2 seconds.
You got this, Josh. We believe in you.
Ex Machina. Alright, so I have Scrap Heap at number 6, Deus Ex Machina at number 5, Speed Metal at number 4, Masters and Students at number 3, Con Job at number 2, and Predatory at number 1.
Interesting. Okay. I like it.
All right. I got my list. Yeah, this is my list. All right. At the bottom, I have Scrap Heap. I like the ice elements, but the little scrappy boys, I wasn't the biggest fan of. Then I have Convoy, then Deus Ex, then Speed Metal, then Con Job, then Predatory.
Okay. So wait, Curtis, did you also have Con Job as your number 2? I can't remember.
No, I had Masters and Students.
I've got the Masters and Students on my list, and that was my episode. Put that at number 3, number 4 under Speed Metal.
Okay. Nice.
Oh, wait, so your Speed Metal is number 3, Anthony?
Yep.
Con Job at number 2?
Yep.
Nice.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
Wild opinions.
It's definitely the wildest.
Interesting.
Dang, JC.
We're gonna start at number 7 with Speed Metal.
Oh,
Whoa! Why didn't you like that episode, Jason?
I did like it, but I had to put something at the bottom.
And Scrap Heap didn't make the cut?
No, I like Scrap Heap way more than you guys, apparently. I don't know.
Jason always did like the fillers.
He always does.
Yeah. Yeah,
He
man.
liked the Adrift episode.
Yeah, we'll get some Autobots floating around in space, and JC's, that's my favorite! That's it right there!
Oh my. Yeah.
Will he find the specific meteoroid where they are?
Oh my gosh. But yeah, I mean, I really like Speed Metal a lot. It just, I don't know, it didn't speak to me in the same way that some of the others did, I guess. But yeah, it was a good episode. And up from there, kind of a similar story for me, I put Convoy at number 6. Really solid episode that didn't speak to me as much as some of the others.
Totally forgot to rank Convoy.
What?
Those are all of us, like, forgetting episodes.
You forgot to put Convoy on your list, Josh? Where does Convoy go?
Let's put it at number 5.
Number 1.
Above Deus Ex Machina and below Masters and Students.
Convoy really spoke to me. That's number 1 for sure.
For sure.
Okay. So 7, Speed Metal. 6, Convoy. 5, Masters and Students.
Wow.
I really liked the episode. I love Skyquake, but I loved other things more. Number 4, Happy.
That's crazy, man. Number 4.
Just be happy it didn't crack my top 3.
Above Masters and Students. Masters and Students had Optimus Prime freaking laying that guy out.
Yeah,
I know.
and Bumblebee, like some great Bumblebee
Going
action.
ham.
I know. I love those episodes. I love that.
Starscream.
I know, but I mean, I loved Scrappy because we got to see all these stakes, and we got to see Optimus and RC, and it had a lot of cool moments, in my opinion. I don't know.
That's fair.
I
It had steak. It had steak.
I feel like this
It
happened
had
last time. Like, last time JC had a completely different list than us.
You're completely right. I've so far been completely alienated from everyone, and I'm okay with it. Okay, number 3, Deus Ex Machina. I loved the introduction of both Breakdown and Knockout. Loved every bit of it. Loved we got a lot of Bulkhead in this episode. Got some cool Miko stuff. Good episode all around. Number 2, Con Job, because Wheeljack and Makeshift and everything surrounding them. Wreckers. Amazing. Number 1, Predatory, needs no explanation. Great episode.
Yeah.
Curtis, I truly gave you a solid this time around with Predatory.
Thank
As
you.
you promised. As you promised.
I mean, you gave me the top 2 episodes in most people's list.
Exactly. This was, yes. I gave you some things. I wanted to see how you broke those 2 episodes down, and you did a great job. All of you did a great job breaking them down. I was pleased with all of it.
Now my breakdown was a heap of garbage. What?
You made it fun still, Josh. I appreciate it.
Oh, goodness.
Speaking of which, should we see the breakdowns of the next episodes?
Yeah, wait, yeah, let's go to the list. Let's see if I can find the list here.
Yeah, you can read off these episode titles for us, Josh. I can enlighten you all to what you're having.
Oh, okay, that's fun. I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Alright, so that's what we're going to do. I'm going to read off a title, and you're going to tell us who has that episode. So let's get to that there. We're still in season 1, right? Yeah.
Yeah, episode 13.
Not one of these seasons.
Now on DV.
Oh, that's not what I wanted. Started playing the trailer. Why is it playing the trailer? Okay.
Episode 13.
Yes, episode 13 is Sick Mind.
Yep. This is a part 1 of a 2-part story arc, by the way.
Oh.
Oh.
So who gets the episode?
That goes to none other than Judge Joshua Shelton.
I thought so.
That sounds like a good episode, Josh.
Does sound like a good episode. Sick Mind. I mean, that's right up my alley.
Heck
Nothing
yeah.
darker than a sick mind.
Yeah.
Okay, I will. Okay.
It's just like the Joker movie. You know, with Joker from Joker.
You know, yeah. Goodness. Bro. That is a great movie, actually. Like, that's a really good movie.
It was pretty good.
Alright, next episode is called Out of His Head.
That is going to Judge Curtis Cooper.
Out of his head. All right.
I remember that episode.
Yep.
That's a lot.
I see one. That's actually
Sure
a
is.
pretty cool title. Alright, next episode is Shadow Zone.
And that is going to none other than our special inquisitor himself, Anthony Cooper.
Shadow Zone.
Next one, this seems really interesting. Operation Breakdown.
Oh, yes. And that is going to none other than myself.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
That's a dope.
yeah, that's a dope name.
Fair. I have to throw myself a bone every once in a while.
I was about to say, Jesse, how often in these batches did you give yourself the best episode? Just be honest.
I don't think I did it too often. I really don't think
in
so.
the first batch, bro. What you talking about?
But I didn't miss that.
No, you
I
didn't. So you're 1 for 2 or whatever.
1 for 2, 50%. That's pretty good odds.
Alright, let's move on to the next one. Episode 17 is titled Crisscross.
Crisscross. That goes to none other than you, Josh.
Hey, okay.
Give Josh the crisscross.
Let's get that filler in, ladies and gentlemen.
And I think you'll be pleased.
No, I just might. Totally getting spoiled at the very moment. Alright, next one. Episode 18, Metal Attraction.
Ah, yes. This is a big Anthony episode.
Dude, I want this one.
I know you do. I know you do.
This is a very fun episode.
Oh, yes. I know it is.
And then the last episode, are you wanting to do the same amount?
Yeah, 19 is the one we're stopping.
Okay. The episode 19 is titled Rock Bottom.
Rock Bottom. And that is none other than Curtis Cooper.
Ooh, I like this. This
That
sounds like
one
the
seems
darkest
like
of the
it's gonna
episodes.
be a good one.
Oh, yes.
That actually seems like it's gonna be a really good one. I need to get off this page right now.
I think I nailed all of you with this batch, even if I failed you all on the last one, but we'll see.
No, you didn't fail me, JC.
That's fair.
I love speed metal.
Curtis got the top 2 episodes. Like, come
That's
on.
fair. Yeah. I failed Josh, I guess. But
Jace-
I'm sorry.
You didn't fail nobody.
No! You're
Thank
not
you,
a
thank
failure, JC.
But I'm the only one who has 1 episode for this batch, so
Take that as you will.
I gave you all more than I gave myself. So even if I had a high quality one, I only had 1. Just saying.
Watch, it'll be number 1. My goodness.
We'll see.
Alright, well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Our thoughts, lots of thoughts, on the Transformers world and episodes 6 through 12 of Transformers Prime. Even though I've had my introduction to Transformers via Transformers Cybertron and the game, this is like, I feel like could be my official, real introduction. I don't know. We'll see.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of like how X-Men was JC's his breakthrough introduction to X-Men.
True.
He was like,
But
I
also-
like X-Men.
Yeah. That's
Yes.
true. He had also had very little exposure. I feel like I've had a lot more exposure to Cybertron than he did X-Men. Yeah.
Oh, probably.
Yeah. But, yeah, it is somewhat similar. With all that said, guys, it's been real long.
But high quality.
Yeah.
It's been real high quality.
Heck yeah.
It's been a metal attraction.
In the name of the Allspark, let's roll out.